Hello there. What's going on, everybody? We've got an article yesterday that gave us some official spoilers and an official unveiling of the 3 expansions of the new Squadron Packs that are coming for Star Wars X-Wing. We're going to talk about those today. Before I get into it, I want to thank Luxury Playstyle for sponsoring this video. They make some of the most amazing full metal tokens you have ever seen. They have them for X-Wing. They also have them for a couple of other games. I use them for any games that require damage counters, such as Star Wars Legion. You've probably seen them a lot in my battle reports. If you use code Crabbok VIP, you're going to save 15%. So while all that tax return money is coming in, if you're looking to do something, this is the time to do it, because with orders of $35 or more while supplies last, you're going to get a free Crabbok token with lightsaber, nunchucks, and all. They have amazing tokens, though, so check them out. Big thanks to luxuryplaystyle.com. Check them out. All right, so Phoenix Cell, Skystrike Academy, and Fugitives and Collaborators are officially announced now with their recent article that just came out yesterday. We're going to talk about these 3 packs because they spoiled a little bit of stuff during the AMG live stream a few weeks ago, but it's nice to have some more high-res images of some of the things. Now, some of the stuff that they showed us wasn't actually in this article, so I'm just going to kind of merge a couple of things. One of the things that I kind of get after reading this is they're looking at a couple of different things. I think they're looking at potentially giving you upgrade cards that aren't necessarily for ships that come in this pack. While it didn't say anything specifically, I do think, since there were recently some T-65 stuff or at least some X-Wing upgrades in the last pack that can potentially go on Rebel X-Wings, I think we'll probably end up seeing that in this Rebel pack. Also, another cool thing is that they're looking at some epic cards that aren't going to be legal in extended play. So we've seen that certainly in the past, where some things are now able to come out that aren't legal for extended or above, like obviously not hyperspace either, so not tournament play level stuff that is gonna still just be fun for casual games. And that's one of the things that they've also included here, not to take away from anything else, but just to give those fun kitchen table games or those big fun scenarios a little extra kick. So that's kind of one of the things we're going to look at today. With this pack, we are getting 2 A-Wings and a B-Wing, with a lot of our basically inspiration in this pack straight from Star Wars Rebels. We're getting Wedge Antilles at only Initiative 4, right? Which is interesting. And of course Hera and then Sabine there. We get Hera in everything now, right? Hera is the new Sabine. We've got Hera in an A-Wing. I love this paint job on this A-Wing too, by the way. That's really groovy. I don't even remember her having an A-Wing like that in the show. I guess I got to go back and watch Star Wars Rebels again. Also, guys, if you guys are new here, make sure you enter to win the $25 Amazon gift card giveaway. What you have to do is be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. You can also hop in my Discord and chat with us a little bit more about what you think of this pack and future hopes for more X-Wing stuff. I'll probably have to do some more videos about like maybe what's coming, what do we think is going to be the next things to announce, because there's certainly some spoilers here. So yeah, I'm really liking this particular paint job for this X-Wing. Great art too. I love the perspective on this A-Wing, the way it's flying at the viewer. It's just a beautiful picture. They hire some of the best artists, and I love to always give shout outs to the art when the art really is amazing. And I think we've gotten spoiled because the art is so often really, really amazing. So another round of fantastic art. Awesome. I don't know what is it. What is this? I don't want to like clap in the microphone right here, but so this is just me. I don't know. I'm just gonna let's move on. So Hera's Initiative 6, and she's Phoenix leader here. Nice ace A-Wing here. She has the same ability that we saw on her B-Wing card. While another friendly ship at range 1 to 2 defends or performs an attack, you may transfer one of your focus tokens, evade tokens, or locks to that ship. When we saw this on the B-Wing, it was a little surprising. It was like, evades? Are we going to get evades on the B-Wing? No, I think they wanted to keep the ability the same. They also showed us the vectored cannons, RZ-1. And this is basically kind of giving the RZ-1 A-Wing the same kind of ability the RZ-2, where you can kind of turn gain the turret indicator. So if you want to be able to turn your forward guns backwards, here's the way to do it. So that's kind of cool. It's nice to have this as an option. It's a standardized card, though. And that's, like, if you use it on one, you're going to have to just outfit the entire fleet this way. It's going to be, Phoenix Squadron. You're not going to be able to just do one of these, and then have everybody else run vectored thrusters. You know, it's like it's an all or nothing thing for your build, which is, it's okay. You know, I think that kind of allows them to maybe put a little extra opportunity cost on there, because if you want to, if you just have that one ace you want to run it, that means that your other guys, or maybe you just run one A-wing. I mean, that's fine too. Maybe diversify your list a little bit more if you don't want to pay, because this is obviously going to have some kind of points cost to be able to do this, and that's kind of where it comes in. If it were free, then it'd be much easier to just say, okay, everybody can have it. Of course, you are losing your vectored thrusters if you do that, and you know, of course, after you perform an action and you get that free red boost, you lose a little mobility there, right? Right? Replace your vectored thrusters ship ability with the vectored cannons. So, you know, it's kind of up to you on where you know what you want to do. But I'm okay with the standardized upgrades. It's a kind of a cool thing they've been doing a little bit more of lately. They didn't spoil this in the particular article, but we have Hera Syndulla in the B-Wing also at Initiative 6, which is real nice to see an Initiative 6 B-Wing. But one thing B-Wing related we did get spoiled was the B6 Bladewing prototype. This is a title. The you know, honestly, I don't even know what they're calling those. I think the diamond upgrade there is, and this is just me having a brain fart, but I always thought that was just for the wing tool, like if you were doing a squadron. But that's actually for epic play. So I was like, oh wait. As soon as I saw this, I was just like, oh my gosh, they did it! And I'm like, wait, I'm not going to be able to use it in extended or hyperspace play. And the good news is that there is another version of this that will be legal in tournaments that just might not be quite so overpowered. So there's going to be two versions of this. This one is the fun one, and then the other one is going to be the little bit more balanced, probably maybe just one extra die or something like that. And that could still be a lot. An extra die can still be huge, because it's not easy to get extra dice in X-Wing, but some ships have an easier time of it than other ships. So the B6 Bladewing prototype is from Star Wars Rebels, where Hera is kind of having almost like the miniature Death Star super laser, where she takes out an Architans class cruiser pretty handedly, and gets some pretty cool stuff going with it. She gets the 4 beams to converge into like the super beam, and it blasts. Now, this also adds a gunner slot to the B-Wing, which is nice. I would expect that the tournament legal version might also add the gunner slot, but might have just a lesser ability. It may also be unique though, which is going to be an interesting thing. Now, this weapon is a 3 attack die forward arc shot that is range 2 to 4. We'll still get range bonuses. It's got the attack target lock header, and you have to gain an ion token to perform this attack. You have to have a target lock, and you have to give yourself an ion token, which means it's going to burn out your engines. You're going forward next turn. I think the tournament legal version will also burn out your engines. Might even do more to you than that. But if this attack hits, which it probably will if you're using it thematically against a capital ship, the defender suffers 1 additional hit or crit damage for each matching uncancelled result after the first. So, what's likely to happen here? It can do a couple extra damage. Usually, your best case is it's going to be 1 or 2 extra damage, which is still pretty nice for a 3 damage attack. You kind of probably want to be shooting low agility ships with this, or 0 agility ships. If you can get a sitting duck capital ship and line up that perfect shot, and maybe you get 3 hits on there, and they're not able to cancel any, then you can potentially add 2 more damage to it, which is a 5 damage attack. Potentially, that's really cool. If you get really lucky and happen to roll all crits, then you'll have 5 crits, which would be really crazy. But it's damage it's uncancelled results after the first. So if you were to, let's say, roll a blank, a hit, and a crit, you wouldn't get any bonus damage, right? So that's kind of unfortunate, right? If you do that, so you're gonna want some, of course you're gonna have the target lock already, so you're gonna definitely want some dice mitigation thrown in there, and of course you're also gonna want to see if you can get extra dice too. So like maybe you run trick shot on the B-Wing. Of course, that's risky, because you also at the same time give that other person, it's going to be an obstructed attack, so they're going to get a bonus defense die. But if you get lucky, like there's a lot of luck that goes into this. You gotta, because look, it's range 2 to 4. You can make the shot at range 4 and make it real easy to shoot through an obstacle or something like that if you're giving it a trick shot. But then they're going to get quite a few dice, so you got 4 you know, maybe you're going to fish for the 4 crits or whatever, and they're more likely to cancel some. But in a perfect shot, let's just say you got an obstructed shot against the capital ship, but maybe had no agility at range 2. Is the closest you could make this shot. Maybe you could get 4 dice. Let's just say you get 4 hits. You know, or maybe you got crits too. Because what you don't want is just like 4 hits and like 1 crit. You know, like that's kind of a bummer because the 1 crit actually doesn't add anything else. Actually kind of reduces your damage total, right? But yeah, so let's just say you rolled 4 hits and they did get the 1 die for the, you know, the 1 bonus die for the obstacle. Let's just say it was blank or something they couldn't do anything with, which, you know, would be nice. Then you could potentially have, you know, that's 4 hits. Well, minus the first one, that's 3 extra damage. So you could potentially run 7, which would be insane. So like that'd be really cool. And that kind of mimics the, you know, the whole scene that we see in Star Wars Rebels, where you know, if they eventually did make an Architans, that would be the ship to, you know, the finishing blow to give it 7, boom, right through the hull, come out the other side. Love that. I'm interested to see what the extended legal version will be. That'll be interesting. We also have the Empire for the Skystrike Academy. This one is gonna be interesting. I think with this one also too, they kind of talk about that there's gonna be some modifications for other ships, and they say among those, and then they preview some. So it makes me think that we're gonna see some of those bomber specific stuff, or those TIE specific upgrades that might be good for TIE fighters, or some of the things that might be good for a TIE bomber. I think they'll like a lot. We've just seen a lot of things that, you know, we're going to tempt Imperial players to have to buy a cross-faction lately, and I think all of that stuff is going to be kind of lumped into this expansion. We'll have to wait and see for sure, but we do get another character from Star Wars Rebels in the name of Volt Scaris. We kind of saw his name previewed earlier in the Defender, and now we get to take a look at his unit card. He's Initiative 5, and he's got a really cool charge symbol here. If you notice, that is a negative, like an upside-down arrow. So he's going to lose a charge each turn, as opposed to gain a charge. And it's such a cool mechanic, the way that charge works. This is, maybe I'm just misremembering, but I think this is the first time I've seen somebody lose a charge every turn. But his mechanic is giving him the option to use it. So, you know, so he's still got full throttle like defenders tend to have. And he gains the action, gain a strain token to recover 1 charge. So he can get a charge, and that's why it drains at the end of each turn, because you can't stockpile it from, you know, you can't like try and get your charge this turn and hopefully you can use it next turn. But before you engage, you may spend, and this was during the shooting phase, right? Before you go shooty, blasty, shooty, you can spend a charge to perform an action. So if you want to gain that target lock at the last possible moment, so he can be good at hunting Initiative 6 pilots. You know, he can, I'll move first, come on in. Before I shoot you back, I'm going to get a target lock. Or maybe I'll boost. Oh, did that Initiative 6 guy get a shot at you at range 2? That's okay, because after you've shot, now I'm going to boost into range 1 of you. All right, and so that's really cool. Now you're going to get a strain in order to do that, but it's also really good against dueling higher initiative pilots too, because I don't mind taking the strain now. You've already shot me, so like it's really cool. It's such a nice ability on Volt Scaris. I'm initially really impressed with the design of this guy. And he's also going to come with the TIE Defender Elite configuration, which will it's so interesting. Imperial TIE D Defender standardized. So we got the standardized, which is certainly a theme of this whole wave. It's funny that they had to make TIE Defender also an Imperial. You know, again, I know it's just good future proofing, but it makes me really wonder if we're going to see the Chiss faction show up in X-Wing someday, and you know, or you know, just we're going to see something like a Defender somewhere else. Even if we did, it wouldn't be a TIE Defender; it'd be a Chiss Clawcraft or something like that. But maybe. Who knows what the future holds? Maybe we'll see a TIE Defender in another faction someday. Maybe they'll do the whole pirated or stolen ships as a faction. That would be also pretty cool. But this one says, decrease the difficulty of your hard turn maneuvers. I love that. Love that. Increase the difficulty of your K-turn maneuvers. Replace your full throttle ship ability with the following. And you get advanced fire control, reminding you back to the X-Wing 1.0 days. After you perform a cannon or missile attack, if you have a lock on the defender, you can perform a bonus primary attack on the defender. Love this. So many great ways to use this, and it gives you better mobility too. You don't have quite the jousting capability though, right? It makes you can still turn around. Your K turns were white, now they're going to be red. No problem there. But your hard turns are now going to be doable, and that was like one of the hardest things I used to have when TIE Defenders first came out. I wanted to run them. I wanted to fall in love with them, but I hated not being able to turn. Obviously, you kind of have to learn to play them and approach a fight a little differently if you're going to plan on jousting like that. And they're very good once you master them. But initially, I had such a hard time, and I think this is going to be great to be able to turn a little bit easier with those TIE Defenders. They didn't show us Gideon Hask today. They showed us him during the AMG live stream. So he's another one of the pilots that we're going to be getting in the Interceptors. Of course, he gets additional attack dice against damaged defenders, which is always nice. But to go along with TIE Interceptors, we're getting some love with the sensitive controls, another standardized upgrade. And the interesting thing about this one is it's actually very, very similar, but it's all about the timing here. During the system phase, you can perform a red barrel roll or red boost action. So you're losing auto thrusters, which is after you perform an action. So instead of, and that's also something very different here with the Imperials, and maybe this is going to be kind of one of the new themes for the Empire, is now we don't really care what our initiative, we're still going to do all of our repositioning and stuff after it's too late for you to react to it. Because the system phase is after everybody's already moved in on their actions, and that's like when you can drop bombs and stuff like that, but it's before shooting. So you can basically arc dodge a lot easier here, make sure, or put yourself into range 1. So that's pretty nice. That is pretty nice. I do expect some more TIE upgrades, bomber upgrades, and all of that. We've also got our Fugitives and Collaborators preview here. Unfortunately, well, I don't know if it's unfortunate or whatever, but Kanan was one that they had already shown us, and they kind of doubled down on him. So less new stuff, but still some new stuff. And of course, we get more of a higher res version of Kanan now. So he is still going to be that first light side character for Scum and Villainy, which is kind of interesting. And he's got while you or a ship in your arc defends, you can spend a force. If you do, the attacker rolls 1 fewer attack dice, which is just a nice ability. It feels very appropriate for Kanan. Another interesting thing that they said about this pack too is that this will come with 4 secret condition cards. So they did not spoil any of those today, but it'll be really interesting to see what else comes. And this is another thing that I really like here is Cutthroat. This is a really cool card. It's a Scum ability. It's a talent. Well, after another friendly ship at range 0 to 3 is destroyed, if that ship was limited or has the Cutthroat upgrade, you may remove one of your orange or red tokens or recover a non-recurring charge on your ship. Or one of your equipped upgrade cards. So there's a lot of different things you can do with this particular upgrade. I'm curious what it's going to cost. I'm really liking this. Is a really nice one for for mixed builds. If you got a couple of uniques, especially if you got uniques that are going to go in there and die, or if you've got some mid levels that happen to have talents that aren't unique that are going to that you want to throw this all on. So as they get blown up, you get other things back. It's going to be interesting. It's the whole, you can only recover, the only charge you can recover is non-recurring charge. So it's like, oh man, so it's like you can't, if you're just a regular bomber and you didn't drop everything, it's not going to help that. But if you had like like Dalen Oberos, who can like drain shields off of other people, you can get another charge of that. So there's going to be a lot of potential to abuse this, and I think there'll probably be some other things in here that are specifically designed to abuse this mechanic. It's pretty interesting. I like this one, although I don't know how often that I'll use it. But are we also ignoring that? I'm pretty sure that that's Cad Bane, flying right there. So are we going to see the Xanadu blood? here soon? You know, that's the next question. And is that Lando's Lady Luck behind him getting blown up? I'm not sure. You know, is he blowing up? Is he blowing up the Lady Luck? I don't know. We've got Padrick here, who is in a Y-wing, and he's got initiative 3, low initiative. After a friendly device that you have locked detonates, each enemy ship at range 0 to 1 of that device gains a strain token. So he's a nice little bomber. Gets a little extra bonus for bombers. His thing says Napkin Bomber. So he's from Bloodline. The book Bloodline. This was, you know, during the build up to The Force Awakens. This is, you know, this guy who bombed Chandrilla, I think, or whatever it was that they were. The Bloodlines is the book about Leia, kind of it being revealed that she was Darth Vader's daughter, and there was this bombing that happened, and you know, got a lot of people, and almost killed Mon Mothma and all this other stuff. And I guess he was the one that did it. So very, very minor character from a book that's been out for years. It's strange, but Napkin Bomber is kind of funny. So that's who and where he came from. It's almost, I mean, like, almost could have made him a First Order person, because the Amaxine Warriors is kind of like, they're not exactly First Order, but they were kind of hired, if I'm remembering correctly, that they were kind of hired to cause some disruption by the First Order. So it's kind of that deal. We get the Tirfon Belly Run as a talent for the Y-Wings. You can perform special attacks even at range 0 of asteroids. So you want to go and... This kind of be fun to kind of ion shot people so that they fly into the asteroids, like, right at you, which is a fun one. And while you defend, if you are at range 0 of an obstacle, attack dice cannot be re-rolled. So they don't mind, like, crashing into asteroids, you know, or the idea is they're, like, really, really close to them. You know, it doesn't mean that you won't still potentially take damage by landing on an asteroid, but I like the theme here. I like what they're trying to do is, like, I'm getting so close that, but I'm really good at not being too close. And so, yeah, it's gonna be pretty good. That's our spoilers. That's our previews for today. I am looking forward to checking these out. I'm still hoping that that B-Wing is just as mobile and beautiful as we want it to be, and we'll unbox them when they come out and take a closer look. All right, you guys, I want to thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for hanging out with me today, and I will talk to you soon. Big thanks to my patrons on Patreon. You guys are absolutely amazing, and I couldn't do this without you. Also, thanks to Luxury Playstyle for sponsoring the video. Be sure to check them out. Use code CrabbokVIP. It's going to save you 15%. I will talk to you soon. Thank you so much, and as always, have a great day.